We're reading Konkani Wikipedia, Konkani language. Konkani is an Indo-Aryan language spoken by the Konkani people along the west coast of India. It is one of the 22 scheduled languages mentioned in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution and the official language of the Indian state of Goa. The first Konkani inscription is dated 1187 AD.
Oh, wow.
It is a minority language in Karnataka, Maharashtra, Kerala, Gujarat, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, and Daman and Diu. Konkani is a member of the Southern Indian Aryan language group. It retains elements of the Vedic structures and shows similarities to both Western and Eastern Indo-Aryan languages. There are many fractured Konkani dialects spoken along and beyond the Konkan, from Damau in the north to Kochi in the south, most of which are only particularly mutable intelligible with one another due to lack of linguistic contact and exchanges with the standard principal forms of Konkani. Dialects such as Malwani, Chitpavani, East Indian Koli, and Agri in coastal Maharashtra are also threatened by language assimilation into the linguistic majority of non-Konkani states of India. Konkani belongs to the Indian Aryan language branch. It is a part of the Marathi Konkani group of the southern Indo-Aryan languages.
But it's from Goa. So it's spoken in Goa in the 11th century.
Yeah, I guess it would have been. That's the 12th century, isn't it? 1187 AD. And let's see the history. The substratum of the Konkani language lies in the speech of Austroasiatic tribes called Kuruk, Orao, and Kukni, whose modern representatives are languages like Kuruk and its dialects including Kuruks, Kunruk, Kuna, and Malto. According to the Indian Anthropological Society, these Australoid tribes speak Austroasiatic or Munda languages who once inhabited Konkan. Migrated north in India, they migrated to Chota Nagpur Plateau, Mirzapur, and not found in Konkan anymore. Medieval Konkani literature mentions Mundari substratum. Austroasiatic Munda words in Konkani like Munda ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ Munkar, Dumak, Goembab. This substratum is very prominent in Konkani. The grammatical part of the Dravidian languages of the structure and syntax of Indo-Aryan languages is difficult to fathom. Some linguists explain this anomaly by arguing that Middle Indo-Aryan and New Indo-Aryan were built on Dravidian substratum. Its migrations of the Indo-Aryan vernacular speakers have occurred throughout the history to the Indian west coast. Around 2400 BC, the first wave of Indo-Aryan dialect speakers might have occurred, with the second wave appearing around 1000 to 700 BC. Many spoke Old Indo-Aryan vernacular languages, which may be loosely related to Vedic Sanskrit. Others still spoke Dravidian and Desi dialects. Thus, the ancient Konkani Prakrit was born as a confluence of Indo-Aryan dialects while accepting many words from Dravidian speech. Some linguists assume Shaurasini to be its progenitor, while some call it Payasaki. The influence of Payasaki over Konkani can be proved in the findings of Dr. Tare Porewala. He's written a book called Elements of Science of Languages, ascertain that Konkani showed many Dardic features that are found in present-day Kashmiri. Thus, the archaic form of Old Konkani is referred to Paisaki by some linguists.
Oh my God.
This progenitor of Konkani has preserved an older form of the phonetic and grammatic development, showing a great variety of verbal forms found in Sanskrit, and a large number of grammatical forms that are not found in Marathi. Okay? Examples of this in many works like, Konkani thus developed with overall Sanskrit complexity and grammatical structure, which eventually developed its own lexical fund of its own. The second wave of Indo-Aryans is believed to have been accompanied by Dravidians from the Deccan Plateau. Paishakhi is also considered to be an Aryan language spoken by Dravidians. Goa and Konkan was ruled by the Konkan Mauryas and the Bhojas. As a result, numerous migrations occurred from northeast and western India. Immigrants spoke various vernaculars which led to a mixture of features of eastern and western Prakrits. It was substantially influenced later by Magadi Prakrit. The overtones of Pali, you remember, Buddhist,
Yeah.
also played a very important role in the development of Konkani Apabhramasa grammar and vocabulary. A major number of linguistic inclinations in Konkani are shared with the Eastern Indo-Aryan languages like Bengali, Oriya, which have their roots in Magadhi. Right? So the Maharashtri Prakrit is the ancestor of Marathi and Konkani.
Right.
It was the first official language of Satyavanaha Empire that ruled Goa and Konkan in the early centuries of the Common Era of CE. Under the patronage of Satyavanaha Empire, Maharashtri became the most widespread Prakrit of its time. Studying earlier Maharashtri compilations, many languages have called Konkani the first-born daughter of Maharashtri. The old language that was prevalent contemporary to Old Marathi is found to be distinct from Marathi, from its counterpart. The Saurasani impact on Konkani is not prominent as that of Maharashtri. Very few Konkani words are found to follow the Saurasani pattern. Konkani forms are rather more akin to Pali than the corresponding Saurasani forms. A major Saurasani influence on Konkani is the ow sound, found at the end of many nouns of Saurasani, which become oo or oo, o or oo in Konkani. Example: Dando, Suno, Rakano, Duk, Ruku. Mainsu from Prakrit becomes Dandao, Sunao, Rakhao, Dukhao, Vukao, Vrukao, Maniso. Another example could be form in Rana at the beginning of the words. It is related to many Konkani words such as Ranav, Nav, 9. Archaic Konkani born out of Saurasani vernacular. Prakrit at the early stage of evolution, later Maharashtra, was commonly spoken around 875 AD. So 875 AD, they had this other one called Maharashtri Prakrit. And its later phase ultimately developed into Apabhramasa, which can be called the predecessor of Konkani, of Old Konkani. Although most of the stone inscriptions and copper plates found in Goa and other parts of Konkan from the 22nd century BC and the 10th century AD are in Prakrit-influenced Sanskrit. Mostly written in early Brahmi or archaic Dravidian Brahmi. Most of the places, grants, agriculture-related terms, and names of some people are in Konkani. This suggests that Konkani was spoken in Goa and Konkan at that time. 10th century maybe. Though it belongs to Indo-Aryan group, Konkani was influenced by a language of the Dravidian family, a branch of the Kadambas. Oh, Kadamba is a very famous bus company. So you have the state transport is called Kadamba. Kadamba bus, you know, who ruled Goa for a long period. They had roots in Karnataka. Konkani was never used for official purposes. In the Kadamba times, it was not used as official. Another reason Kannada influenced Konkani was the proximity of the original Konkani-speaking territories to Kannada. Old Konkani documents showed considerable Kannada influence as grammar as well as vocabulary. Like South Dravidian languages, Konkani has prothetic guides, E and W. I know what that means. The Kannada influence is more evident in Konkani syntax. The question markers in yes or no questions and the negative markers are sentence final. Copula detection, I don't know what that is. Deletion in Konkani is remarkably similar to Kannada. Phrasal verbs are not so often used. Calls, early Konkani, they're showing medieval Konkani, contemporary Konkani. So there are three. Contemporary Konkani is written in Devanagari, Kannada. So script is a thing because when you go to church and you go to read Konkani text, they write in
Alright.
Roman script,
Mm-hmm.
and there are some people who read in Devanagari script.
Right.
But now Devanagari is going to be promulgated as standard Konkani.
Mm-hmm.
So you had three. There was early Konkani that about 981 CE. BC, that means. Sorry, AD.
AD.
So I don't know when that is. So you have 14th century. Then medieval Konkani area was marked by invasion of Goa and subsequent exodus to Maratha territory,
Mm-hmm.
Kannada and Cochin. So that is a medieval Konkani. And then you have Konkani revival. Konkani was in a sorry state due to the Portuguese as official language. Okay?
Mm.
The predominant of Marathi over
So
Konkani.
when that happened?
Okay, so what happened is the Portuguese came about 500 years ago.
Mm.
The Christians went towards using Portuguese,
Mm.
and the Hindus preferred Marathi over Konkani,
Yeah.
mainly because of the divide.
Mm.
And therefore, Konkani suffered
Mm.
because the Christians, Portuguese and Marathi.
Yeah.
Seeing this problem, Vaman Raghunath Varde Vallavikar set about on a mission to unite all Konkanis, Hindus as well as Christians, regardless of caste or religion. He saw this movement not just as a nationalistic movement against Portuguese rule, but also against preeminence of Marathi over Konkani. Almost single-handedly, he crusaded, writing a number of works in Konkani. He is regarded as a pioneer of modern Konkani literature, and affectionately remembered as Shenoy Goimbab. His death anniversary, 9th April, is celebrated as World Konkani Day. So this one guy
Mm.
rescued the language,
Wow.
because if he didn't do it, they were divided,
Yeah.
and the Catholics wanted to speak Portuguese, Hindus wanted to speak Marathi,
The Konkani would have gone.
would have gone. So he said, let's get together, whoever speaks Konkani from everywhere.
Mm.
And he wrote books and stuff. So
Wow.
just I know heard of one guy trying to save a language.
Mm.
He sought to unite the fragmented Konkani community under the banner of one language, one script, one literature.
Mm.
He succeeded in organizing the first All India Konkani Parishad in 1939.
Great.
Successive adhivations of All India Konkani Parishads were held for the next 27 years. Recognition as while they continued in some Marathi, it was known as a dialect of Marathi
Mm.
and not an independent language. The matter was finally placed before the Sahitya Academy.
Mm.
Suneet Kumar Chatterjee, the president of Academy, appointed a committee of linguistic experts to settle the dispute. On 26 February 1975, the committee came to the conclusion that Konkani was indeed an independent and literary language, classified as an Indo-European language,
Mm-hmm.
which in its present state was heavily influenced by the Portuguese language. So they, only in 1975 reserve.
Mm.
All this did not change anything in Goa. Finally, fed up with the delay, Konkani activists launched an agitation in 1986 demanding official status for Konkani. The agitation turned violent in various places, resulting in death of six agitators from the Catholic community. People, they died. Finally, in 1987, the Goa Legislative Assembly passed the official language bill, making Konkani the official language of Goa. Very recently,
right.
huh?
Mm. Mm.
Konkani has been in danger of dying out for 7 years for following reasons, okay? But there is an influence now. Again, Marathi is quite popular.
Mm-hmm.
Portuguese influence, fragmentation of Konkani people, bilingualism of Konkani Hindus in Goa,
Mm-hmm.
and the progressive inroads made by, of course, Urdu and mutual animosity amongst various religions and caste groups, including and migration of Konkanis. Yeah,
So basically, Western India ends there in Goa.
Western India.
Western India's border is in Goa. Because after Goa there is only
No, we call-
ocean, isn't it?
Goa is not known as South. It's kind of in the between the South and Middle India.
Yeah,
So Maharashtra is known as West India.
yeah,
We say West, right?
yeah,
And Karnataka is South India.
yeah.
And Goa is like the on
In
the
between, yeah.
yeah.
So Cochin,
Yeah.
at the, yeah. So, but that's the basically, that's the border of India, Goa and Cochin.
Yeah. Cochin is in Kerala.
Kerala, yeah.
But that was yeah, influence of Portuguese there as well.
Yeah.
Interesting, because some people like in Karnataka, it's also a language.
Mm.
It's a minority language.
Yeah.
And one of the MLAs wanted to speak in the Karnataka assembly
Mm-hmm.
and was not allowed to do it
Oh.
because there is a representation of Konkani people.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have Mangalore, right? They speak Konkani there.
Right. So after that, there's just an ocean, and there are two oceans in Goa, isn't it? Arabic and
No.
huh.
Only Arabian Sea.
Only Arabian Sea.
Mm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
In Goa and also in Cochin,
Yeah, but Kanyakumari has both. No? Has the
Kanyakumari has got
Indian Ocean, Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal.
three.
Because yeah, it's in the tip
It's
at
in
the bottom.
corner, yeah.
But I don't know about the Bay of Bengal, if it's that area, because there's Sri Lanka also there. I think the tip of... Let's see the map. So we go to map, Kanya Kumari.
Mm.
Maps. Google Maps will take us to the bottom of India. Let's see what they're saying.
There's a Rameshwaram after that.
So Vivekananda Rock Memorial at the bottom. Have you been to Kanyakumari?
No. I was supposed to go, but we didn't.
So actually, yeah, I don't know where the Bay of Bengal ends. There's Lakadiv.
Not been.
No, because Bay of Bengal,
Mm.
you know where Kanyakumari at the bottom,
Yeah, of course.
and West Bengal, you know?
Kanyakumari is in the south.
Yeah, the bottom tip of India.
And yeah, but the south tip.
Yeah.
And the Bay of Bengal is in east.
Yeah, but it comes on that side, no?
Where?
Like this. So this is like the bottom.
It just moves, is it?
Show your hand.
From east to
No, this
south?
is Kanyakumari,
Yeah,
and then you have Indian Ocean here,
yeah,
Arabian Sea,
yeah.
Bay of Bengal.
Oh, that's
So that's why they meet here. But you have this here, Sri Lanka.
Yeah,
So I don't know if the Bay of Bengal ends there
yeah.
or they. I think it meets the tip.
No, it meets the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, at the bottom.
That's Sri
Then that means
Lanka.
Kanyakumari would have all of them three.
Yeah. Oh, right.
But yeah, it's called Lakadiv Sea
Uh-huh.
at the bottom. I don't know, but it's kind of Indian Ocean.
Huh.
And Australia is just there.
Australia is just there?
No, like Australia also touches the Indian Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
That's the end of our. I was reading the Konkani
Yeah.
history.